Order online at picassospizza.net.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Picasso's post-game show. Jake Micah here with my co-host and brother Alex Micah as the Bills dominate the New Jerk. I said New Jerk. I wanted to say New Jersey so bad. The New Jerk, the New Jersey, the New York Jets, 30-10 here on Sunday afternoon. Pretty complete performance, even without impressive Josh Allen stat line today. What is your Mo? What's your first feeling, first reactions after this game hit the final buzzer? Where it was we were kind of just waiting for this game to get over. It was pretty much done with the whole fourth quarter left.
Yeah. The death of the Bills defense was wildly exaggerated.
Oh, okay.
Is what I think it is. I think they obviously got, their shit rocked last week against the Ravens, but that's obviously a really good Ravens offense that actually didn't look too great today at times. But you have a fantastic offense they went against, and it was week one, and it looked kind of like a mess. But this week they came out firing right away. Everyone was worried with no Ed Oliver that they were going to get run all over. Not run all over, but that it was going to be a tough game. Opening drive, you have Matt Milano with multiple tackles for loss right off the bat. They played, like you said, they played a complete game. The defense from all over the place was getting pressure. They had 5 different people with at least a half a sack, 5 different people with at least a tackle for loss. I mean, they lived in the backfield, and that's what you want to see. This is Sean cooked up, and Bobby Babish, they cooked up a good one.
They did, and it really was relatively simple to me all week what to do, and it was just, Justin, try to beat us through the air. Justin Fields today, Mo, had less passing yards than Mitchell Trubisky. Justin Fields had 27 passing yards after playing 3 full quarters before exiting the game in the concussion protocol. Mitch Trubisky came in for about, 3 plays, I think, when Josh Allen started bleeding from his nose. So he came out and hit.
It might only have been 2.
I think it might have been 2, and then it went to halftime. They were lining up for the end of the quarter. Yeah.
End of the quarter. Yeah.
But Mitchell hit Josh Palmer with a strike for 32 yards. So that's the fun fact of the game, is that Mitchell had 32 yards. Fields had 27. Fields was 3 of 11 for 27 yards today. And even the rushing attack, as you were saying, like the Bills' defensive demise was greatly exaggerated. 21 rushes for 100 yards total for the Jets here. Fields was a big part of that with the 27-yard scramble he had. He had 5 carries for 49 yards. Just hit his over, actually. It was 46.5 was the Fields rushing total. But Breece Hall, 10 for 29. Tyrod Taylor was 3 for 21 in garbage time coming in here. Nobody did anything in the air, obviously, really, for the Jets today, but Garrett Wilson, 4 catches, 50 yards. The Bills, as you said, the Bills defense, this is a defensive masterclass, what the Bills did today. Maniac tweeted it out earlier, and I tend to agree, is McDermott has a special way of dominating inferior opponents and specifically inferior offenses. And it's something that we shouldn't take for granted, because not all teams can do. Think of now, the Steelers might just be bad because the Steelers let up 31 points at home to Sam Darnold and the Seahawks today.
Well, I will say one of those touchdowns was like one of the craziest touchdowns you're ever going to see.
That's true. Well, the Steelers didn't know and that's the thing too. The Steelers didn't know the rules. Yeah. They didn't know that was going to be a live ball. It was a kick into the end zone kickoff rule. New kickoff rules got got somebody today. But so I was thinking like last week, everybody, and this is why overreaction to week 1, you always have to be cognizant of it, because it was like, oh man, the Jets did this against a good Steelers defense. Well, maybe the Steelers defense just isn't good. And maybe they didn't have any options to try to do anything to the Jets. And maybe the Jets surprised them last week. That was the thing about coming into this week, is the Bills had a week of film too. Like the Bills got to see how it's not like the Jets were saving anything for the Steelers game. Like they were coming out and trying to win, or saving for this week. In the Steelers game, they came out firing last week. The Bills got to see every look, everything that they were going to try. And it was just a suffocating performance, especially with Justin Fields through the air. And we got a late run in here. Michael Parthy, how we doing, sir?
Hey. What is up, guys? This is one of those weeks where you figure you just get your work out of the way early, right? Because the Jets ain't worth it, and I don't think the Dolphins are going to be either.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man. This is we were just talking about, what was your first impression of, like, first reaction, first overall, like, big picture thing of this game after the final score went final?
Contrary to Rex Ryan's assertion, the demise of the Bills' run defense has been greatly exaggerated.
You guys just said that word for word. That's crazy.
I mean, Justin Fields got a couple of 1 or 2 decent runs, but Breece Hall was held under 3 yards a carry. So whatever they got maybe 4 or 5 chunks of yardage passing, maybe scrambling, but just completely ineffective from the Jets on both offense and defense here. And they shot themselves in the foot at least 3 or 4 occasions, either running into their guys or bad penalties, turnovers, of course. Joey Bosa was just a monster in this game. He was left and right.
Three forced fumbles in 2 weeks for Joey Bosa to go along with his sack that he had today. I mean, that doesn't matter like who you're playing against. That's impressive. That's some solid stats.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys have said it both. Like it was greatly exaggerated what Rex Ryan today. I didn't even see that Rex Ryan clip until like the 4th quarter of the game. Somebody retweeted it later on, was like, okay, man, whatever. It was crazy to think that calling them the Ravens light all week was just
the team of Ravens.
Like,
they weren't even that.
It wasn't even Timu.
No.
Timu's offended by that comparison. Like Lamar Jackson is just such a different stratosphere than Justin Fields. And the Bills were like, please try to throw the ball. Please try to beat us down the field. And there was nothing they could do. But I'm impressed by the play of this defensive line, sans Ed Oliver. They didn't get pushed around. Honestly, the biggest thing that stood out to me in this game, both offensively and defensively, and it's what was the biggest difference to the Bills team last year for me, was the domination in the trenches. Again, like they were moving, especially in the run game today, to free up some of those holes. Now, that James Cook 40-yard touchdown run is one of the best touchdown runs you'll see all year.
That's like 85% James.
Yeah, exactly.
15% offensive line.
That was a big run. But James Cook's day today is he's 21 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's an offensive line stat line too, because the holes that he had, he's getting 6 yards a carry. 6 yards. I would love to see the average before contact that he had today, because there was a lot of runs where he was clean again, moving up into the second level of the defense. It was just an impressive performance physically wise. Like you even heard it on the broadcast. Nance and Romo were like, this looks like Alabama versus Middle Tennessee State at one point, which the stray to Middle Tennessee State by Jim Nance, he felt bad about it right after, but that's what it felt like. It didn't feel like they were on the same field at all. So it was
you saw the Jets scoring points against the Pittsburgh defense, which obviously the Pittsburgh defense looks like not exactly the most stout. Even with TJ Watt, they have some of we would pay good money or trade half of our front line to get on our guys. But now we got Joey Bosa. Apparently he's not quite done yet. I mean, the Jets, they have Breece Hall could have made some plays against the Bills. He has in the past. MetLife Stadium has been a bit, not exactly a house of horrors necessarily, but a very frustrating house for Josh Allen off and on over the last few years. But we didn't think the Jets were that good, and they are who we thought
they are who we thought they were.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is that's my biggest take. As much as you can say about the Bills and just being able to dominate a lesser opponent and just the continued trend of that with Sean McDermott and everything else, this Jets team just looks they're going to be lost team for a lot of games this year, especially if Justin Fields continues to play quarterback. And listen, I was a big Justin Fields proponent for a lot of my life. I thought he was going to be at least a solid quarterback option in the NFL, but he just hasn't developed in the passing game at all. Like, I feel like he's even gotten worse over the last couple of years as teams get more tape on him. And the Bills took major advantage of that in this game.
How about this is what Carson pointed out. Mitch Trubisky got more passing yards on one throw than Justin Fields got all game. 3 of 11, 27 yards, 2 sacks on top of that, a 39.6 passer rating. I mean, he's dollar store Lamar Jackson, if anything.
Do you think, not to talk too much?
Listen,
dollar stores.
I didn't realize this. They showed it after the Joey Bosa fumble on that second drive. 45 fumbles since he entered the league. Justin Fields had. I didn't realize it was that high. I knew he struggled the first couple of years, and obviously, like, it's so crazy. The one drive where they actually just kind of let him run, like, they did it like 4 times to that right side, and they were able to get like decent yardage on it. That's what we have him, like, his one good season with the Bears. I mean, he's a former 1,000-yard rusher. He showed that stat too. He's like second.
We're losing Mo a little bit.
Most rushing yards by a quarterback are him and Vic. Were we cutting out?
Are you back? I think you might be back now.
You're back for the Matrix, now? Alex?
You're back.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever. I don't know. I didn't think I was losing out, but
where were you at with Justin Fields?
Okay. I was just saying, like, it's the fumbles was crazy to me, and the one drive that they actually like were letting him run a little bit, it was doing okay, and then they just obviously just called out.
Yeah,
that wasn't their like first with this offense. We'll
try to get him back in here in a minute.
What part of Chicago does Alex reside in? Wi-Fi is not as good as your neighborhood, apparently.
It's sometimes, you live by the technology, you die by the technology here. We'll get him back here in a minute, but I get what, like, it did feel like it felt like the Jets, honestly. Aaron Glenn has been a mess, I think, with inconsistently the last couple of games. He looked like he's been kind of overmatched as a coach. There's some the 4th and 1. I want to know what the cowardly punt index is for the 4th and 1 punt.
Yeah, I mean, that was in their own territory, but still, at that point in the game, what were they down? 20, 23, something like that?
20, I think, or 23. Yeah, 23-3 at that point. Like, you just gotta go for it, man. Like, you gotta go at it there. Offensively, besides Allen having a pretty pedestrian day here, he was effective on the ground too. 6 carries, 59 yards, a 40-yard rush. I think we got maybe Mo. I think you're back. Not quite yet. And the other thing was the Elijah Moore game here. 2 big plays for Elijah Moore. He had a catch for 31 yards and a revenge spot and the touchdown and a backflip. I mean, but the thing is through the air with 14 for 25. It was another everybody eats day, Mike. You had 2 catches for Palmer, 4 catches for Kincaid, a catch for Coleman, or a catch for Moore, 3 catches for Coleman, 2 catches for Knox, and Knox should have had 2 more. He had 2 bad drops.
Oh yeah.
Here, Cook and Hawes also all get involved there too. Were you surprised to see that the Bills were not the everybody eats mentality, but that they weren't able to get the game, pass game going more effectively in this one? Or is that kind of, I mean, for me, it's just like, that's how the Jets have played them. They've really been able to take Allen away in a lot of these matchups. So I wasn't really surprised to see it, but the Bills found ways to be effective regardless of the passing game not being effective.
Well, we welcome Alex back.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't think that's the same Jets coaching staff that Allen has faced at the MetLife Stadium, where he's had some of his more difficult games. So this is a completely different animal. They have Sauce Gardner, but it's not like he's not even a factor out there. You want to talk about Elijah Moore getting so giddy he's doing backflips. How about when Josh spams his Madden spin move, goes and gets the first down near the goal line and hits him with the "you can't see me." I mean, the Bills were just taunting him out here, not directly to their face because you can't do that. That's a flag. But where they could, they were just having fun.
The "you can't see me" was a nice touch by our guy Josh Allen. It is the year of John Cena. I was talking about
nice shout out to John Cena's final year, the GOAT.
Absolutely. I was just talking about how it was an everybody eats mentality. Even though Allen wasn't as effective during the passing game as you would have thought, nobody had over 5 receptions. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 or 9 different receivers with a catch today. They're staying true to who they are. Like the Bills offense this year so far has really stayed true to everything they were last year, except for that fourth quarter when they really needed to just turn up the pace last week and were able to. Were you happy to see the game plan? Like obviously happy with the win and everything else. Were you surprised by the game plan, or did this kind of align with the way you thought they were going to attack the Jets today? And how do you think they did it?
I mean, it for the most part, there was a lot of drops, honestly, and that's not anything to do with the game plan. That's just on individual receivers not showing up when they need to. I mean, Dustin Knox had 2 big drops that would have been first downs for them. Keon Coleman gets a really bad OPI penalty that, like, you don't even need to do. Josh put that ball only where Keon Coleman could get it. You don't even need to, like, shove that guy to the side. That's just Keon being, like the pit bull that he is, I guess. That's how he wants to play football. No, for the most part, I mean, they kind of, like, they knew nothing was downfield, and they knew that. They opened up a couple times, were able to like get it going. Like Mitch's throw to Josh Palmer is just so out of pocket for that game at that point, because there had been nothing for Josh downfield. He had constantly been having to get moved and had to dump it off. I don't know. I think they probably Joe Brady probably could have used like more. I feel like probably like screens or like swing passes, honestly, to the backs, and got that and was able to could have got more yards that way, because I feel like they could have been they're fast enough on the edge that they could have attacked these guys. Like Ty Johnson had 1 target, and that's a guy who could probably get in there a little bit more. But I mean overall, I mean they win the game, so I'm not upset about the offense. As long as they're winning, it doesn't really matter too much. But I definitely think they knew that the Jets have a stingy corners and safeties that are going to be hanging on you. So I don't know, make some moves that you can either open up that space or get it to guys early in space before anyone's even close to them. But
yeah, it's just maybe, honestly, Mitch, maybe that wasn't even really the look he should be taking a shot at or something. Like he just was like, I'm just going to send it here no matter what. It did seem like Palmer did win that route and got on that battle there. So it was crazy to see just Mitch come out, fire in right away. You get 32 yards. That's all you can ask for from your backup, to step in cold off the bench and fire a strike. Like, what more could you actually want? We got some comments on Instagram. The real Matty Ice, you dig 55 said, we going 17-0. I love the energy there. I love that. Can't complain about that. And
we got some murderers rows after the bye, but the next few weeks look relatively light.
Well, yeah, and we'll get into the I want to get into a little bit of next week because it's coming right up on us. But King Low 510 said, for us to be the away team on the road here, Josh didn't even have to play hard, didn't produce, and to still drop 30 points again is a dangerous sign for other teams. Parthy, I don't remember. I know Bunt has brought this stat up to us a couple different times, but is this like the 10th or 11th straight game with 30 points now? Maybe even.
Oh yeah, 12th? He's brought that up a few times. Anytime we start mentioning the wide receivers and the not the lack of depth, but only depth and nothing much else. But yes. Yeah, when your division is the AFC East and you have to go up against the Jets, the Patriots, and the Dolphins in their current states, 6 of your games every year are going to be more often than not routes.
It is helpful. I did get a text from my Browns fans friends who were like, it's nice that you guys get to play the Jets twice a year and we get stuck with the Ravens twice a year. So I'm like, hey, that's how the cards are dealt. The Patriots got to take advantage of a lackluster AFC East on their way to plenty of Super Bowls over time. It's not our fault that the Jets and Dolphins can't seem to figure it out for the entire century. Like, that's on them at this point. And that Dolphins team today, in a just crazy game in New England, but they blow it. Another bad Tua interception at the end of it. They're going to be coming limping in to Orchard Park this week.
Yeah, Tua didn't have quite a bad game. Threw for over 300 yards. Tyreek Hill had 100 himself. Yeah. But he took 5 sacks, I believe, had that bad interception and took a few sacks. I said he took 5 sacks. already, especially the game losing clincher sack at the end. So I mean, just the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill may, if he actually wants to bother to try, they can have some kind of danger in the passing game, assuming they don't take away his first read, because everybody knows he's been a first read quarterback most of his career. I just, on a short week, I don't see the Dolphins really doing any kind of damage. Let's get our predictions out of the way right now. I say Bills 34, Dolphins 13.
I like it. Mo, what are you thinking next week for the Dolphins matchup?
Let's see, 31-10. So that's almost the same as today. I'll say 31-7. I'll change it up a little bit.
I had 45-17 this week, which is a little higher scoring than it ended up, but it was still the 28-27 point margin there. So I've been 1 point off the margin. That's it for both these Bills wins. So I do think this is going to be another beatdown. I would say the Bills, let's keep the 30-point streak going. I'll keep it at 30. I'll say 34. I'm going 34-7 too. I think something like that. Like, I just don't. I think that game today, the point I was going to make about the Dolphins Patriots game is those looked like two bad football teams playing against each other. Like, it just looked like chaotic football because they were bad more than anything else. The Dolphins really leaned on Devon Achane. He had 11 carries for only 30 yards, but he had 8 receptions for 92 yards. So 19 touches for 127 or 122 yards there. They're going to get him involved a lot, but we saw the Bills we thought that it was going to be an issue with Breece Hall, or at least some people did this week, and it really wasn't. They bottled him up today. I don't know.
Did they put Ed Oliver on IR for 4 weeks?
No.
He was just out for this game?
Yeah, so McDermott said it's likely that he'll have a chance to go Thursday at the very least. They said they hope he'll have a chance to go Thursday. Same with Teron Johnson. I'm guessing that he was sat today more out of precaution.
Karen was warming up, and then they must have felt too tight.
So and he practiced. And the one time they showed him on the sideline, he had the roller or the massage gun going on his quads there and everything. So yeah, it was probably more precautionary than anything else. The Dallas Cowboys just defeated.
Last few seconds in overtime, 40-37 on another field goal.
Wow.
Pretty insane game.
Off the early slate. Yeah.
Poor Kyrie Elam, he got bailed out twice.
Yeah, he
by
did.
By Aubrey.
Part of that Dolphins Patriots game today too is that Dolphins offense. I mean, they had a punt return touchdown. They got them to 27 points. So and the Bills special teams has looked great these first 2 weeks. So as long as they're still playing tight, I'm not worried about that. Obviously, that's not like a fluke play. That's good. You have a good player back there. Malik Washington's very fast, but that's still it's a Dolphins offense only put up 20 points. And last week they only put up 14?
Yeah, it was only 14.
Yeah.
Update on the Chiefs. Harrison Butker, I believe, tried a 58-yard field goal, but unfortunately, like usual, he went far right.
Oh,
wink, wink. You think he'd be locked in this week, But no, well.
What was I just gonna say? You guys got me real mixed up here. Do we have a kicker controversy? Is Matt Prater?
Matt Prater, the stats have been showing the last few years he's been more accurate than Tyler Bass as it is. But what do you do with Tyler Bass? I mean,
I know
you're not going to put Prater on waivers because someone's going to snatch him up with all the
how
failed
bad
kicks that have been going around this year.
I mean, that was the Patriots rookie kicker today. He missed the first 2 extra point attempts for them. They were up 12-0. It was two missed extra points. Eddie Pinheiro missed an extra point earlier. It's kicking it around the league is so bad. Especially these early into the season.
Yeah, but Prater today 3 for 3. He hits a 52-yarder. It's as good as you can ask for a guy stepping in who literally was coaching his kids. What was he? Was it a football team? They keep mentioning
assistant on a high school football team for his kid
team or something. Yeah. He had a 28-yarder. He had the 52-yarder. I'm trying to see what the last one was.
It was like 30 something.
I think it was I was thinking it was like 38 at the end of the third quarter here. 33-yarder. So he's been sharp.
That's the thing too, is that's something to look at with the Bills offense. I mean, that's 2 short kicks that maybe you talk about running on 3rd and 4, I think in that third. Yeah, I mean, I don't I kind of get it because it's you're up 20-3 at that point. You just want to get another field goal on the board. You're playing like a little conservatively more than you need to be, but I don't know. Why are you running on third? I was like, okay, that probably means they're going for it on fourth because they're going to run it on third down. But
I did too. It was a questionable call. It definitely felt like, and then I thought I could hear the McDermott explanation in my head afterwards, which is how you've spent too much time with a head coach and listening to him talk, because it does take you to that point. It was a 17-point lead. You kick the field goal there, and you're basically like, the Jets have to score 3 touchdowns no matter what. They're not scoring 3 touchdowns in this game, and that could be the calculus. I still, I just off principle, 3rd and 4 run, 3rd and 5 run, 3rd and 6 run just kind of irks me, but there it is. Our dad chiming in. Coach's kids Pop Warner team. So he was locked in. Like Prater was. I mean, they had to find a replacement quick for him. Like he was ready to go for the season, and he's just come in really focused, and he's looked good. I mean, and just clearly the operations clean. Like you said, the special teams under Chris Tabor specifically has just looked really buttoned up. And that's going to win them some games this year.
So good on 3 holds or more than 3 holds because extra points too.
Oh yeah,
that's all right. New punter.
That was a minor concern coming in.
And he only had 1 punt. I don't know the exact yardage on the punt actually, but I mean only 1 punt that was Cam Johnston. Is that his name?
48-yard was his long today. So they didn't need to go long, whatever. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to really say about this game. I think that all of us. We all very impressed with the defense and the bounce back performance here, and just making Justin Fields look like a college quarterback out there, Middle Tennessee State quarterback.
Did Matt come back in?
I don't think so. Matt Milano did exit the game. He never came in during the.
He had his helmet on while he was sitting on the sideline, so it doesn't seem like it was an injury. They just figured, okay, we're taking care of the Jets. We got a Thursday night game coming up, so just start resting guys. I think they pulled a Trey out not long after that in the second half.
Yeah, I'm sure if there was anybody feeling any sort of way, they were like, let's get you ready for Thursday night on the quick turnaround. What were you going to say, Alex?
Cole Bishop Hive, we're still alive.
We're back.
5 tackles, led the team, had his first career sack.
It did look better today. I mean,
he knows how to blitz. We found that out. We didn't know that after last week, but he knows how to blitz.
The biggest thing, too,
so the Bishop Truthers are out there smiling year from year today?
We're back.
Listen,
I'm back.
It wasn't
all
bad.
The way in. So, maybe we were on to something when saying playing Lamar Jackson in the Ravens week 1 is not indicative of what your team's going to be defensively the whole year. It's the biggest stress test they'll have all year. It was a stress test for sure, but like you said, this stretch specifically, Partham, is pretty pedestrian until the bye week. They get this Dolphins game. They get the Saints, who are just, I mean, Spencer Rattler against this Bills defense is going to be yeesh. Like, I don't know what's going to happen there. Then they get the Patriots on a Sunday night, and then at the Falcons, which who knows what to make of the Falcons. We'll see them later on Sunday night tonight themselves. I don't know what to make of that team yet, but it's very possible, apart from that, this team is just 6-0 going into the bye week and really flying high.
I mean, the last 2 years, this is why I sort of my emotions are kind of like very stale going into the regular season games, with the exception of the Ravens, the Chiefs, maybe the Eagles now because they've been good recently, and any rivalry games we have, especially with the Dolphins, because I want to stick it to their fans, of course. But I think the Dolphins fans are a lot more realistic this year about their team's chances. No one's saying, "Oh, this is the year we're going to reload, we're going to upset the Bills, we're going to take it all over."
After today, they're probably just waiting. They're looking forward to the season to be over at this point. I mean, if you start 0-2 going into Buffalo, you can't be feeling good.
How many more weeks until McDaniel's gone?
That's a great question. How many more weeks till Tyreek asks for the trade? Because
he has him already.
Today, but
apparently he did, and no teams are interested. That was
there you go.
Yesterday, is that
who's going to be interested. You know who's going to be interested.
The Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what scares me about this Dolphins situation.
Hey, we've been showing other teams that, hey, your players can always go home, right? When that doesn't work out everywhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some notable things around the league. Somehow the Bengals pulled off a win after Joe Burrow got his toe stubbed or whatever the heck happened to him.
That's because he's a quarterback.
I mean, you couldn't put any weight on it. The joke was, I don't know if it's legit. This is legitimately true that they don't have a card out to bring players back in the locker room in Cincinnati?
I
They're the only
saw
team in
that
the
they
league.
had to he had his arm around the trainer with to get back to the locker room. It was not he didn't get carted off. He was limping.
And then he had the scooter.
No, I didn't see any scooter.
That's
he had the scooter after.
Yeah, afterwards. I would believe that
Okay.
they don't have a cart.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a team that's not going to have a cart in the league, it's the Bengals. That's for sure.
It's them or the Browns. Yeah.
So in your guys' neck of the woods, didn't go so well for the Bears. I'm sure Seth Rollins hates football for the second week in a row. The Giants and Cowboys might have a challenge to the Bills and Ravens, as we mentioned earlier, the ending of that game for the greatest game of the year. It's only week 2 for crying out loud. Anything else notable? The Patriots beat the Dolphins on a 2 sack, like we said. The Ravens throttled the Browns. The Browns are no factor there.
The Ravens didn't know for the first half. That game was close in the first half.
It was 10-0.
Derrick Henry was 5 carries for 5 yards and a fumble in the first half.
I was gonna that's a great point. The Browns all week were it's easy to tackle Derrick Henry. Apparently it is for them.
To them it is.
He ended 11. Derrick Henry today ended 11 carries, 23 yards.
Wow.
Yeah,
and they made good. They talked the talk and they walked the walk, and then they got walked over by everybody else.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco had 45 passing attempts. I don't think that's winning you.
No, and bro, he got strip sacked.
45 passing attempts. He didn't even have 200 yards.
Didn't have 200 yards.
He got strip sacked, and Roquan Smith ran it back for 70 yards for a touchdown in the fourth quarter.
That's right.
I'm watching the Colts and the Broncos here, I believe, on Red Zone. And I just want to know, why haven't we designated that game the Horse Bowl or something? Just make a nice little trophy, a bucking bronco with its feet kicking out in the back, and it's got a couple of nice little Colt logos on its horseshoes and whatever.
It's the Peyton Manning Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that too.
What about Peyton Manning on a horse?
Yes. That is perfect.
Yeah,
that's what we need. Let's call in the league, or at least call up the Broncos and Colts PR staff. We'll give you that one for free, guys. We'll give you that one free. You were bringing up the Bears getting absolutely smoked 52-21 today by the Lions. Feels like the Lions felt some type of way about Ben Johnson leaving them this time around for a division rival. And Caleb Williams not looking good again today, not looking sharp. Ben Johnson on the interception that he threw, that was one of the worst interceptions you'll see all year. Should have thrown that one away.
Did you guys see in the Seahawks-Steelers game, the kickoff goes over the guy's head in the end zone, and he just lets it go there like, oh, they're going to down the ball. It's a kickoff, you doofus. I think that might have happened 3-4 times in NFL history that I can recall.
And it's wild.
I think one happened to us, right? Who was that? I think it was in a Jets game, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
a running back let the ball go. I must have blocked out of my memory. It has to be one of those drought games.
But, well, it probably, definitely a drought game.
I'll say this about the Bears Lions. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Rome Odunze on the same fantasy team, so I had a good day with them.
You had a nice day.
Yeah, that's
nice day. I didn't even realize
50 points just for them. So.
Oh my God, they both had crazy days. That's nuts.
I'm gonna be dumping the Steelers defense ASAP.
Yeah, I also am gonna do that. The Steelers. That's what I was gonna say. We need to stop. I think probably giving Tomlin the benefit of the doubt anymore for being a buttoned-up team, because that's a mistake that for the reputation he has, is a mistake that should never happen. And this is a team that prides themselves on their defense and everything else. And the Jets offense clearly, that's an embarrassing effort from that defense last week, what we saw from the Jets offense today. But it's not like the Seahawks offense is going to be, we don't expect them to be some world, they might be a middle of the pack offense with what they did. Now, Kenneth Walker had a much better game. I have to apologize to my friend Seamus, because I told him to bench Kenneth Walker. I benched Kenneth Walker today. Charbonnet was, had most of the carries last week, and Kenny went off. And they have some options there, but I don't think they're going to be any world beating team. And the Steelers just look like a mess. So the schedule's looking a lot with, depending on what Burrow, I don't think Burrow's injury is going to be that long term, but that Bengals team, even before he got hurt, didn't look too impressive the last 2 weeks. The Steelers not looking impressive through 2 weeks. The Bills schedule looking lighter and easier as the weeks go on. And that chase for the 1 seed more important than ever. And as we kind of wrap up here, because we're going to go watch they're about to go into the second quarter here with Philly and KC. Huge implications for the Bills going forward in that game there. So Partham, then Mo. Final thoughts on the Bills win today before we get out of here.
I expected it to be a ho-hum game. I wanted it to be a ho-hum game, and it is. And just got to move on through the regular season until we get our division title and get a rematch with the Chiefs in whatever round we end up finding them in.
Very practical. Nothing less, I expect. What about you, Mo?
Nothing really. Well, Josh needs to pick up the pace now. He had 4 touchdowns last week, none this week. So now he's not on pace for 40 anymore, and we got to keep the streak alive. That's all I gotta say.
They'll get him his touchdowns.
On those, I'll say this: on those 2, like, why did we have Dalton Kincaid if on those 2 plays Dawson Knox is running those routes and dropping the ball? Like, do we not trust Dalton Kincaid enough as an offense? Then why the fuck do we have him even? Like, honestly,
that's a great point.
That's because he's making both those catches.
Knox is gonna be kicking himself over those, especially that second one. I mean, he could have broken that tackle and been off running.
Yeah. Is Knox in the final year of his contract?
I think they can cut him next year, even if it's not with a. I know whatever the last year he is in, they can cut him pretty easily. So
are they gonna though? I mean, he's like. Obviously,
I mean, they were trying to make the 12 offense a thing for a while, and now it just really has fallen by the wayside, as far as I know.
Maybe Hawes takes over for him at some point during this year.
Hawes had another nice little catch and run today.
He had a nice grab.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's just as good of a blocker as you would think. Like in the future, that's what they want him to be. So who knows? That is something to look at. Yeah, my biggest takeaway: I would love Allen. I would love it if Allen is more efficient. And the offensive line looked a little better in the first half, but if they're at least in the pass game. But if they're going to be able to lean on teams like this running the ball, and the defensive line, even without Ed Oliver, is going to be able to handle games like this, they're going to win. They're going to be in a great position to be the 1 seed finally in the AFC and have home field at Highmark in the last year. So that's all I'm keeping my eyes on, and they're in a great shape right now, and especially if the results go their way again today with the Chiefs taking a loss to the Eagles. So
one last thing to show how bad the Jets are and inefficient and just in general. The story came out today that Jerry Jones offered Micah Parsons to the Jets for Quinnen Williams and a couple picks, and they said we don't even have the resources to entertain that. I mean, Quinnen Williams is a very good interior defensive lineman, but he's calling you and he's like, "Listen, do you want Micah Parsons?" And they're like, "Nah, we're good." That's tough for the Jets all around.
It's a whole nother discussion and speculation as far as we know without hearing anything about what calls Brandon B might have made. But what could we have given up for Micah Parsons if that's what he offered the Jets?
He obviously wants a D tackle, so it would have probably been Ed Oliver.
Probably Ed, yeah.
It's probably Ed and a couple firsts is what it would have been.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's what if he's calling for Quinnen Williams and they traded for Kenny Clark, that's what Jerry Jones wanted was a stud D tackle.
Yeah, and Ed's from Texas. So
yeah, true.
Could have been Houston, fitting there, but hey,
no, not Dallas. He might not.
That's true, not Dallas.
Yeah,
that's true. He might hate Dallas. Yeah, for all we know. But all right, guys, thank you, Mike, thank you, Mo, for joining along here on this post game. For shout out to our sponsor, Picasso's Pizza. Get your Picasso's Pizza anywhere nationwide and in Western New York. Celebrate the win with a pizza. So get ready for Sunday night football. There's no better way to watch Sunday night football than with a Picasso's Pizza. True. So get over there. We'll be back on Tuesday to get the whole crew and get their thoughts on the big win over the Jets and a quick turnaround. Look ahead to Thursday night against the Dolphins, where we'll also have Maniac Slick and all the whole crew there in the lot cast, live coverage from the lots, live coverage. Well, we'll be back for the post game then. Love a Thursday night game. It's going to be fun. I hope we get the real, let's get the that Monday night game against the Patriots at home a couple years ago, or just an offensive explosion, or the Titans game a couple years ago on Monday night, the 38-7, I think it ended. That would be a lovely Thursday night. Let's just have a ball. Let's have Josh Allen get 5 touchdowns or something.
Last year's Thursday night game was pretty good too. That was when Tua had
That's true.
I'll take that one.
Well, Tua might be just wanting to throw those picks at this point. I don't even know, man. But thank you guys. We'll be back. We'll be back with all our coverage of everything Bills. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Let's go Bills.